Welcome to the Blizzard Arena.
And the quest for a champion begins today.
The anticipation has been building, and it is finally time. We are live.
Are you ready?
That is a really...
Can you get over the roof there?
Oh my.
Oh my, what a play, what a grab!
Another jump here on the high ground. Super goes forward, but gets stuck up. The EMP comes in, and ding, he rains down hell from above.
Here comes Pine. Gets one, gets two. Looking for a bit more, gets another one.
Tuno down again. That heralds disaster generally for the Fusion, and Carpe wasn't far behind. Prophet, he's killed 4 players now on his own.
From Vancouver, locks him in the sound barrier. Sound is huge. The bomb coming in from Jono. Oh my God, he does it again.
Flutter now moving onto the Widowmaker, taking the clutch into his own hands. The headshot, and the headshot, and the headshot.
Okay, I like this for the Gladiators. They're going to try and circle around. I'm going to call this the merry-go-round because it makes me laugh. Makes me happy, and Sean Paul switches to the Widowmaker at just the right time.
Oh, the Raven.
What in the Lord's name is that?
That's so good. Oh, that's the
I'm the best Tracer in the world.
Oh my word.
I mean, you could have told me that you spoke English, honestly.
The fans never thought they'd see this day. It took 43 matches. Feels like a really emotional moment here.
Sorry.
All right, let's get started. First, talking about Hank suing legal mindset, and then we'll go over another video as well. So
let's get right into the PowerPoint. Let me share this with you guys over here. All right, we've got this over here. Let me present this full screen. Boop, boop. There we go. The Han Jong-yu Hank Yu lawsuit. Now, in case you don't know, a lawsuit is a lawsuit that is a joke. It's a complete fucking joke. There have been many of these on the internet, going back to the time of Maddox, right? But this is yet another one that's hilarious, and it ends up blowing black in the face of the person that tries to silence somebody else, particularly to silence what is clear free speech and clearly something that's inapplicable. And this is something that in a way functions like SLAPP, a strategic lawsuit against public participation. That's how we know it in the United States. But Korea doesn't have SLAPP and anti-SLAPP. That's not something they do. They do have defamation. They also have something called insult. So those are the charges that are levied against against a legal mindset. So let's get into that. So first of all,
that's what I'm saying. Sunday's the only day named after a food.
We are not doing this all season.
Just saying.
Who is Hank? Hank is, of course, a notorious figure. Of course, he is a top ally of Ramzi Khalid Ismail.
oh, isn't that interesting?
A.k.a. Johnny Somali. Now, he is banned from the United States for several crimes which he has been convicted of and unable to appeal. He has been trying to appeal several charges in the United States for almost a decade now, and been unsuccessful at that because he absolutely has no legal basis, and his own statements have defeated his case in court. Now, Hank, just to be clear about, who he is and everything else here, he is a convicted criminal. And this is something which, even in the United States, I would not say as a lawyer unless it was true. Because even in the United States, I would be guilty of defamation in the United States if I was to call him a convicted criminal and he was not truly a convicted criminal. And even in the most permissive jurisdiction, even in the United States, which truth is a defense, we have very robust SLAPP provisions, I could not call him this and would not call him this if this was not true. And I'm very careful. In fact, I'm going to report on some other stuff. I think there's a Destiny case out there with some allegations, and you'll see when I cover that how careful I am when somebody has not been convicted, when they do not have a guilty adjudication.
And if I knew this correctly, I think that's actually it's actually very bad if you actually say something that's not true. So,
adjudication. A judge has not said you are guilty, or jury, judge, whatever.
Hello, Nagranol. Because unlike Jeremy, I can actually say it right.
Has said they are guilty. Then you can call them a criminal. Then I can say he's a criminal. He is absolutely 100% a convicted criminal in the United States. And you have the actual documents here. This is a court document here. And let me move to the side here.
Okay, so there's actually it doesn't say what he did. Wait. 8 counts under Gun Control Act, 7 counts of false statement, federal gun dealer, violation of 18 U.S.C., and 1 count of possession of a firearm prohibited person in violation of 2922 because of the evidence.
So you guys can see a little bit better. But this is the U.S. versus Han Jong-yu 2020. And it makes clear at the bottom here, when you read the bottom, Han Jong-yu was convicted of 8 counts under the Gun Control Act, 7 counts of making false statements to federally licensed gun dealer in violation of 18 U.S.C. 924, and 1 count of possession of firearms by a prohibited person in violation of 922. So he lied on his forms, said he was a citizen of the United States when he was not, and he illegally
Hello.
procured firearms. So He's a convicted criminal. He's convicted for that. He also faced other charges, and I'm being very careful about this because once again, this is something that I'm not sure what the adjudication was, whether he was adjudicated guilty, whether it was a waiver, but he also had some history breaking and entering into someone's home, trespassing, threatening people. This was his history with a bunch of hooligans in Texas, in Tyler, Texas, where he went in and threatens people as part of a group. They had weapons. They went into someone's home without their permission and made threats. So he's somebody who has not only criminal convictions, but he has a broad history of engaging in rather questionable behavior. These are factual statements. So all of these.
So a minor by elderly women openly is rates of 3,000 won with 10,000 won for full service, admits interest in femboys. Okay. Interesting choices.
These are factual statements regarding this. Now, groomed as a minor by an elderly woman, as a minor, he was groomed, and he was taken advantage.
That's a little unfortunate.
Advantage of in multiple orifices. He openly advertises rates of what may be 3,000 won, maybe USD, who knows, and 10,000 won for full service, 3,000 for oral services. We're going to hear those statements from his own words. And he openly admits an interest in femboys. So I'm actually going to pull this down here, and we're going to play a little clip of the, once again, of K-Town Social Club. And Hank's issue is that he made these statements. He came out of his own volition on an international public broadcast and said these things. And I think what Hank thinks is that he can say these things on a public broadcast and they will remain private. So he thinks that he can go out and just talk to people publicly on something he knows is being streamed, he knows being put out there to thousands of people, and my videos had 100.
Either that or he thinks he can say them and no one's going to look at him negatively.
100,000 people watching them and looking at them on these various videos about Hank. Actually, more than 100,000 people watching them. And then, of course, you had people like Atozi and Deserto and everybody else covering this and putting this information out there. So millions of people know publicly about Hank's sexual deviancy. But let's hear it from his own words, because, once again, it's not me saying these things. In fact, it is very, very much him saying these things. Let me make sure that the audio is good here, because I want to make sure you guys are hearing him completely in what he is saying about himself. Okay? So once again, this is Hank's own words about himself. Let's play this.
Different story, I gotta tell you. I wasn't abused. I was kind of groomed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happened?
For what exactly?
I'm not going to reveal her name, but it was a white American woman living in Korea at that time.
And how old were you?
I was 17, she was 37, and yeah.
Okay, so that's illegal. So let's just start with that. So he was a minor, and he was taken advantage, and that's illegal. So there's that.
She took my virginity both front and back.
Do you guys hear that? Let's play that back for the people. Let's play that back for the people.
She was 37, and yeah, she took my virginity both front and back.
Just in case you guys missed that, just want to make sure that's out there. Once again, I don't have to say a word. I don't have to comment on this at all. I let the words, as we say in the law, let them speak for themselves. Let them say what they say. So me putting this information out there, me allowing the public to know exactly who he is and allowing people to know who he is, people in Korea to know who he is, people in Korea to know what he likes, people to inform his family of this, people to inform his future employers of this. These are his public statements, which he is proud of. And every university he can study at, including the universities in China, which perhaps don't know about his history here and what he's going to be offering, can all know about this, because he has put this information out there publicly, and this is for everybody to consume. This is a public statement. And when you go on the internet and you make a public statement, It's out there. You can't claw that back in and say, well, I didn't say, well, I wanted to keep that private. I wanted to keep that secret. No, it's not. It's no longer defamatory. You've said it yourself. So somebody repeating that is not defamatory at all, or an insult under even Korean law, right? In my consultation with, of course, Korean folks that are very familiar with the Korean legal process, which, of course, I know. So let's continue with this because there's more. We're not done yet.
She used a device on you?
You use a strap-on to penetrate.
Okay, we
penetrate my.
Might not have needed such detail, but
we didn't need that detail. But
we really didn't.
Gave it, and once again, as I pointed out,
as the saying goes, the internet is forever.
First time, and I'll say it again. He's smiling. Hank is smiling. Smiling. I'm going to let that speak for itself. And once again, I don't make judgment about his life choices or what he enjoys or doesn't enjoy. That's his own business. But it's, once again, when he's trying to say it's defamation that I said these things, because that's the issue here, is that he's saying that me saying these things is defamatory. How is that defamation? How is that defamation? You said this, not me. So you saying this.
It came from his own words, so it's not defamatory. Unless he said this and they weren't true, then he's telling a lie about himself, but that's still not what one classifies as defamatory.
And smiling. It is what it is. You did this to yourself, bro.
Did you like it, though?
He's smiling.
At that time, no, but it did turn me. I believe it did turn me bisexual.
Yeah, because you are.
He's smiling. Speaks for itself.
You told me that you hook up with dudes or do things for them sometimes, right?
Well, I would say like this. My price is $3,000 for sucky and $10,000 for.
Again, we didn't need to know this. Their faces say it all.
He said it himself, guys. He said it himself. And once again, let me just point this out there. He's trying to sue me for defamation. He's defaming himself. And not only that, but here's the other thing too. He's advertising. He's open. He's saying this is my price. Guys, despite what people, it is illegal in Korea.
Yes, it is very much illegal.
Illegal in Korea. He is making this statement from Korea. He says in this podcast he's in Korea. He is advertising sexual services in Korea, which is illegal. So there could
very much illegal.
Could be a report to the police about Hank and his advertising of services that comes in. Open advertising of services.
Give me a second. Will be fined 3,000 won for up to a year. So basically, if you are in possession with that, you go to jail pretty easily.
Which is absolutely prohibited and absolutely illegal in Korea. And he's promoting this to hundreds and
it is a serious crime.
Thousands, millions of people, because he knew this stream would be watched by tens of thousands of people, and beyond that, it was restreamed by millions of people. He publicly advertised prostitution. That's a crime. That's a crime. So, and he's suing me. Right. Let's continue here.
10,000 won. Huh? 10,000 won.
And see, only when they laugh at him, because he's like won, and then he changes it. He says
dollars.
He says dollars later, but he's laughing. I think it's won. I think it really is won.
$10,000.
Yeah, but
you're joking, right?
Yeah, this is.
I'm not.
You're not.
He said Okay.
Oh boy. Here we go.
So they tried to cover for him. They
literally tried to drag you out of the mud, and you went back in.
And Korean police that are watching this, please refer to this, because I know the Korean police will actually watch this. Look at this and know that he said he is not joking. This is not a joke. So when he tries to say, they try to give him an out, and he said, I am not joking. I am not joking. So he clearly openly is advertising and advertising his orifices.
Wait, I'm confused.
I would actually do that, but I do like femboys.
An example of a famous femboy, because I don't know what that means.
Well, I don't know like any like femboy that's like a celebrity, but if you can Google like femboy, like there's a definite difference between a femboy and a tranny.
What's your definition of a femboy then?
So, femboy's like a feminine boy, like femininely dressed boy and stuff, but he doesn't take like pills to become like tranny. But femboys look prettier than girls. So,
but isn't that like bordering on pedophilia?
Huh?
Isn't that bordering?
I don't think they're underage. I think they're just called.
Oh,
they're not underage.
They're just.
So we'll just leave it at that. So that's the statements that he's made regarding his deviancy, right? So once again,
I know. Very much so, yeah.
His words, not mine. And he's included this in his statements to police, saying that this is how I defamed him, that I said these things. Well, I never said any of this stuff. I never reported on any of this until after he said it. So first,
it is very much gay.
Thing first, he said it, and then I reported on it. So him trying to sue me for defamation for something that he said is insane. And to be clear, and I guess I need to say this, I'll say this once, I'll say it again. I am being sued for defamation and insult. And I'm also being sued alongside several Korean streamers, and we're going to get into those details in a second. There's other Korean streamers that are kind of caught up in this lawsuit, but I was added to that lawsuit as a party as it pertains to defamation and insult, right? For statements like that, right? Which are his statements. They're clearly factual. They're clearly true. There's no ambiguity to it. And it's me really just playing back the video about Hank. So we talking about his open sexual deviancy. And Hank, once again, admitted he was groomed, admitted his orifices were penetrated front and back, admitted he advertises rates of perhaps 3,000 won, maybe it's dollars, maybe it's won, for oral services and 10,000 for full. He admits an interest in femboys. And some of you may not know what a femboy is.
Yeah.
So, in case you didn't know what a femboy is, this is a femboy. This is a femboy.
Oh, okay. That's a really gay
boy. In case you didn't know, this is educational here, right? I got to educate you on a femboy. Now, any resemblance of the figure on the right to any public figure that may or may not be charged with crimes in Korea is absolutely coincidental. Any familiarity at all with that, absolutely coincidental. And in no way related to the fact that Johnny, aka Ramsey, is probably staying with Hank right now and probably paying for his rent with services. No, that's unrelated. It's just purely educational. This is actually just to let you know what he's into, because once again, we should know the difference. We should know what's going on when it comes to femboys, because some people are uneducated. Some people don't know about this, and you've really got to know to get to the bottom of this defamation case, right? You've got to know. It's very important. It's critical, really, that you understand what a femboy is. Here's the thing about Hank, and this is going to work against him legally. When you are a public figure, the law applies differently to you. This is true in America, and it's true in other places as well. If you are somebody who is, for example, a celebrity, if you're somebody who's a politician, if you're someone who is out there on the internet, your social media, you're out there on Instagram, you're famous, you are treated differently under the law. Now, in the United States, the standard is extremely high for public figures. It's extraordinarily high for a public figure. He is clearly a public figure for multiple reasons. Number one, he was openly and
no, his friend Hank is. He confirmed he likes them. So it's just he's connected to Johnny, so that's why that was being discussed.
actively involved in most of Somali's crimes, which were publicly streamed, right? And once again, we some people say I would change the first sentence to reflect his real name. We know his real name, Ramzi Khalid Ismail. I say it all the time, Ramzi Khalid Ismail. Very clear. So Ramzi's crimes, he was there. He was active, and those were being streamed to thousands of people. The clips of those streams have been streamed to millions of people around the world. I see people in the airports in Asia, and they know me because I'm covering this. And that's just my coverage of Somali. More people know Somali than even I that know my channel. So people know my channel that also know Somali, but more people know Somali, and they don't even know my channel. So he was involved. He was there. He was in the videos, and he was 100% willingly there and knowingly there. He wasn't inadvertently filmed. He was filmed knowing he was filmed and knowing he was a part of it. That does change the analysis looking at him as a public figure. But beyond that, let's talk about other factors. So he was publicly in Johnny's streams and knowingly and wanting to be there and all that. So that's a fact. But beyond that, he's entered into public lawsuits against high-profile Korean streamers. So Ramzi Khalid Ismail aside, he's suing many Koreans. In fact, the lawsuit against me is also against other Korean streamers. And of course, I was informed of this before I've ever been served. I haven't been served any lawsuit. I'm in Thailand right now. I'm not in Korea. I'm in Thailand, the Kingdom of Thailand, right? Beautiful place, lovely place. But I have contacts involved in law enforcement. And I found out about this before I've even been contacted. Like, who is this? This legal mindset you claim. He doesn't even. Once again, he doesn't have my passport number. He doesn't know my address. He doesn't know where I live in Thailand. He doesn't know anything, right? About anything, right? Haven't been served at any location anywhere else, right? And he's suing these people, and that puts his name out there. But beyond that, he's going on international podcasts. He went on the Korean K-Town Social Club podcast. That is an international podcast that speaks to the Korean community.
Wouldn't suing someone over covering you, wouldn't that make you look worse?
Across many countries. So that international podcast that he went on makes him a public figure because he went on that knowingly to draw out clout. The same reason he had an international YouTube channel. One of the things he brags about is, I had a YouTube channel that was giant in the US before I got taken down. He actually had, I think he said a couple racial slurs, and that got him a bunch of views. He went viral before it was taken down because, of course, it was hate speech. It was classified as hate speech. It was taken down, whatever, right? But he brags about being famous in the US. He has a wiki page, right? You guys can go to his, in fact, let's pull this up right now. He's so known that he has a wiki page. Right? Let's go here. It's a wiki here. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, the Namu wiki. Here you go. So I'll pull this down in case you guys didn't know. On the Namu wiki, en.namu.wiki, right? You've got Han Jung-yu, right? And you've got him over here with his own fucking wiki page, right? And he's over here on this listed. Got his information here, the dates here, everything going on here, his involvement with Johnny Somali, right? This is probably going to be amended, right? And talking more about, all of these doing right now. But he's a public figure. This guy's.
I mean, can we say, I think Isaac might be friends with him. And also, just that picture alone. Hello?
No. There's no secret about Hank. He's not a private person. He's not trying to hold himself as a private person. And it can be in no way considered as a totally private person who's not entering into the public sphere. Okay, there's 3 big reasons why this is going to fail. Number 1 is jurisdiction. Number 2 is the nature of my statements, and 3 is applicable Korean law. Now, I don't want to get into the law so much because I don't want to give away my full hand here on the stream. Because once again, I know Hank is watching with Ramsey in his lap. You know, Ramsey's sitting in his lap, or Ramsey's under the table, wherever. And they're watching the stream right now. So I don't want to give them everything. However, I will talk about the jurisdictional issues and the nature of the statements because they're clear and they're obvious, and yeah. So we'll get into those arguments, and I'll defeat this. Once again, the thing about a lawsuit is, especially as on the defensive side, to win a lawsuit on the defensive side, you really only have to win one victory. And it can be a procedural victory, it can be a victory, process victory, and you win the case. So from a defensive side, one thing is a victory. So I only need to do one thing or prove one thing, and I can win completely. I blow them out of the water, right? Completely. So that's the advantage of being on the defensive. And that's why a lot of times I say it's not worth suing people, because a lot of times if you're on the offensive, you've got to do all the work, you've got to pay all the bills, and there's other ways to do things other than suing people. And as a business attorney, as a corporate attorney, I often focus on practical solutions rather than just blowing your money on stuff that doesn't matter or is a waste of money. I think that's stupid. Other lawyers encourage people to sue, whereas I say, no, actually, that's a bad idea because you're going to lose that one, or you're not going to get any money, or you're not going to recover. Is that lawsuit going to get you something? If the answer is not yes, and that something is really important, then you shouldn't do it, right? So let's talk about...
I mean, well, yeah, if suing someone is not like should not be either also your first response to something either.
The jurisdiction. First of all, he filed this in South Korea, right? So he filed this with South Korea. Now he filed it with police. It has not been referred to the prosecutors yet. It's with the police. If you guys have been following my Johnny Somali coverage, you understand the Korean system is different. The first step is it goes to the police. So my case is at step 1, pretty much. He filed it with the police. But the police haven't decided what they're doing with it. They may just let it go, drop it, say they can't. They may remove me as a party. They can do a lot of things regarding this case, right? Because it's at that first step. Anybody can go and report something or file something. It doesn't take very much. But he has filed it with the police in South Korea. That has been confirmed by my law enforcement contacts. Once again, before I've been served, before I've found out anything else, I know it's happening. And I think, by the way, they thought they were going to surprise me. I think Johnny and his allies thought they were going to surprise me with this. They thought they were going to shock me or scare me or silence me somehow with this. But they did the exact opposite, right? By doing this, they have not only encouraged me to talk about this, but they've allowed me to double and triple down on this and go hard in the paint. I'm currently in Thailand, which once again, I say is a proper venue or would be a proper venue. I can say whatever the fuck I want, and he can't, under South Korean law, it's inapplicable. South Korean law has nothing to do with what I say as a non-resident of, I'm not a permanent resident, I'm not a citizen of South Korea, so I can say whatever the fuck I want about Hank, including the fact, for example, if I wanted to say that Hank is very likely engaged in a sort of sexual relationship, a service exchange with Johnny Somali, with Ramsey Khalid Ismail, I can say that. And he can't do a
I mean, it's probably true as well.
Damn thing about it, because I'm in the Kingdom of Thailand. He's in Korea. So, Hank...
Different countries go by different rules.
That would be what you might say, sucky, except for no one's paying you $3,000, buddy. Okay, so here's the thing. The only two proper venues to come at me for defamation in this case would be Thailand or the United States of America. Why? Well, because a lot of this coverage, in fact, a good amount of it, in fact, the statements that he wants to come at me for in his report were made while I was in the Kingdom of Thailand. So if he wants to come after me for statements I made in Thailand, he needs to come at me in Thailand. The other option, which he can't use, is to come after me in the United States of America, because I have an American corporation, and if he wanted to, he could try to go to the United States of America, and he could try to sue me under American law, once again, me being an American lawyer, and try to sue me in America as an employee of a American corporation. So as an employee of an American corporation, he could try to come after me in America. That's a proper venue. I would admit that. Or Thailand. Here's the problem with him coming after me in America. He's kind of deported.
And also deported and also broke a bunch of laws in America. So if anyone's in the chat that knows, if you get deported in America, doesn't that mean you can't actually come back?
He's kind of banned from the United States. So
yeah, that's what I figured.
So he kind of can't come back to file things because he's kind of a convicted criminal, right? Convicted felon. So
kind of makes it a little hard.
As a convicted felon, number 2 is not going to work. Oopsie daisy. That's not going to work. And good luck in Thailand. I'll just say good luck. I'm not going to give him any. Good luck coming to Thailand. Please try that. Please try to sue me in Thailand over this. Good luck on that, Hank. Good luck on that. He also has no information on my location. So at any point in which I've done a stream, he's going to have to try to point out where I was exactly. And a lot of the streams I've made from outside of South Korea and a lot of the statements he's alleged are defamatory or insults were made outside the Kingdom of Thailand. So he's got to pin that down. And he's got no information also on any of my personal information in terms of like my passport information or my physical location. So that's necessary to serve somebody to give them this. So there's no way he's going to be able to do that to apply jurisdiction to me as a non-resident of Korea. So it's the jurisdictional issues alone defeat this case. So I win on these issues alone. Period. It's end of story. I just win, right? But beyond that, let's continue. Statements of the Korean law. So already having a W, right? I've already got a W. The statements are factual. Everything I've said, especially the statements that I made while I was in Korea, which is very careful. Any statement I made about Hank while I was in Korea was 100% factual. I did not elaborate at all about anything related to anything speculative while I was in Korea at all whatsoever. You can go back and review the tape. Any stream I did, I even mentioned Hank, purely factual, purely his statements, purely what's happened under the law. He cannot find a single thing I've said that's not factual. That's a huge defeat. Now, facts can be defamation in Korea. However, there are exceptions, and there's a lot of law that applies that carves those out. Especially since what I'm talking about is related to the criminal activities of Ramzi Khalid Ismail, aka Johnny Somali. So this is something that is of high public interest in Korea, and that is relevant, right? And that there are applicable defenses there. Once again, I'm not going to go into my defenses and how I'm going to use those and work on that and file to get this blown out of the water, but there are applicable defenses here that are very clear, that are very, very clear. So that is going to, under both the statements and the Korean law, blow him out of the water. And of course, last but not least, if you guys want to support me, I have set up a nice Ko-Fi for this. You can go over to ko-fi.com/Andrew Esquire. I'll pull it up right now. If you guys want to support me. Now, I'm going to have to put some time into this one, right? I'm going to have to put some time, my own time, preparing a report, filing it, getting people to help me, helping people assist me on this. You can go over there to Ko-Fi and support me. Donate to the Hank Defense Fund, which once again is to fight against Johnny Somali's top ally. So you can go over there to Ko-Fi and give me a nice little donation. That'll help out with the fight against Hank. So thank you guys for the support, by the way, because this is how we fight back, and this is how we blow people out of the water, and this is how these people are exposed for the frauds and shams they are, and how when Hank says he is somebody that is interested in free speech, it's clear that he does not want free speech at all, that he indeed wants to silence
free speech until it affects you.
All of his critics, including all of the Korean streamers. He is suing every single one of them, not just for defamation and insult like me, because I'm being sued for defamation and insult. He's suing them for stalking and harassment. So those guys are being sued for stalking and harassment. I'm being sued for just defamation, but he's put those together in one case. He's trying to smash them together because he hopes that in the aggregate, everybody will be guilty. Of course, that's not how it works, right? That's not how it works. And he's not really going to be able to work this one over.
All right, so we're going to look at the next one, which is over here, which is an interview with Bang TV, which is the IMT guy. And if we go over here, should have a video. See, yeah. Okay. All right.
There we go. Yeah. Okay, so here we have, and let me start this one more time with the light. Okay, guys, we have our third interview of our series of interviewing the Korean Johnny Somali hunters. Of course, I'm back here in Seoul, South Korea. And of course, this is a Legal Mindset. So we're going to be interviewing Bang TV. So Bang TV, can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah. 이름은 뱅TV고요. 뭐 요번에 이제 소말리 담당해서 쫓아다니면서 추적을 해서 소말리의 그 장소를 발견해낸 그런 사람입니다. I found his place.
When did you start on YouTube?
제가 4년 전에 이제 일반적으로 이제 운동, 복싱을 시작하면서 이거에 관해서 이제 기록을 해야 되겠다. 그래서 취미적으로 해서 취미 생활로 해서 처음부터 스텝 하면서 잽 하면서 이런 거를 영상을 그냥 핸드폰으로 찍어서 올리면서 그게 이제 유튜브의 시작이었습니다.
Cool, that's really cool. So you're a pretty skilled boxer, yeah? When did you first hear about Johnny Somali?
Just 9월 잠깐만 제가 그러니까 조니 소말리를 10월 그때 처음 행크를 쫓아가기 전날 이제 그걸 알게 됐거든요. 그러니까 제가 처음으로 조니 소말리와 행크를 쫓아가기 전날 그 소식을 들었었어요. 그러니까 거기 이제 뭐 홍대에서 행패 부리다가 행인한테 맞았다. 이 소식을 듣고 그 전날 하고 그 다음 날 이제 쫓아간 거죠.
Okay, so around October 26 or 27, you started hunting Johnny Somali.
Yeah.
Did you know about him from when he was in Japan or Israel?
No, I don't know.
You didn't know?
Yeah.
Do you know now?
Yes.
So you've seen the videos from Israel and Japan now?
Yeah.
What do you think about what he did in the other countries?
그거에 대해서는 되게 좀 그러니까 어떻게 보면 얘가 국제 범죄라고 생각을 하거든요. 국제 범죄.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I think that's true because it's fair because in Japan, he was actually convicted of a crime. And in Israel, they could have convicted of a crime. Instead, they just kicked him out, you know? He did very disrespectful acts. And he plans in the future to do more in different countries.
He said in China and India, which all I have to say is, first off, getting in those countries is not easy. Second off, good luck making it out alive, let alone getting in to begin with.
So he plans to go to other countries and commit crimes. He even said he will go back to Japan at some point and commit more crimes. He said it on his stream when he went to Lotte World. So I think since he was convicted of a crime and pled guilty to a crime in Japan, and now he's charged with crimes in Korea, I think it's fair to call him an international criminal. I don't think in the U.S. that wouldn't be inaccurate. You could call him that because he's been convicted of overseas, and he's an American. It's very rare for Americans to be convicted of crimes in other countries. Did learning about Johnny Somali, did that change the way you think about Americans or foreigners?
근데 그거를 그러니까 이제 편견 우리가 이제 편견을 가지게 되면은 그거에 대해서 이제 그거를 한 사람의 그러니까 그건 단지 조니 소말리의 문제인데 problem is him. 그걸 갖다가 우리가 그거를 뭐 백인이든 화이트 or 블랙 그거에 관해서 우리가 편견을 가지면 그건 또 잘못이기 때문에 그런 부분은 최대한 안 하려고 노력은 하는데 그래도 이제 사람이니까 미국 사람이 그런 거에 대해서는 하필이면 미국이라는 거에 대해서 굉장한 쇼크를 받은 거는 이제 사실이죠.
Yeah,
that's a good thing to hear is that he recognizes. I mean, most people would recognize that it's just him. It doesn't represent the entire country. So that's good to hear.
I think that's why so many people are mad about it, because he sets a bad example, not just for foreigners, but specifically for Americans. So a lot of Americans are very mad about this. And we feel embarrassed. Even I've said I think they should take his passport because he's actually embarrassing our country.
I would agree.
And he's creating crimes intentionally in other countries. So we feel embarrassed about it. But many people, especially Americans and especially Black Americans, are now afraid to come to Korea. So what would you say to somebody who's an American or a Black American and wants to come to Korea? Would you say, like, tell them to come?
Don't worry about that. 대부분의 한국인들은 외국인들이 오고 대우하고 이런 거에 대해서 우리는 일단 외국인에 대해서 친절하게 또 이제 외국인이 또 우리나라 문화도 모르고 우리나라 잘 모르는 거에 대해서 잘 알려주고 싶어 하기 때문에 그런 부분에 있어서는 걱정을 안 해도 되는 그런 상태거든요. 그러니까 저희가 뭐 소말리 한 명을 통해서 대부분의 뭐 백인이든 흑인이든의 문제로 이렇게 생각은 안 하니까 그런 부분은 걱정 안 하고 와도 되는데 이제 아무튼 이 소말리를 통해서 또 다른 범죄가 일어나면 그거는 이제 큰 문제가 된다. 이렇게 생각을 하고 있어요.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing, is to make sure that Johnny Somali is punished, because I agree with you that if he is not punished, if he gets away with it, other streamers will create problems. In fact, even today,
some already have started.
I got sent a video of a streamer like Johnny Somali, we say nuisance streamer, and he's in Japan, and he's harassing the Nigerians in Japan, and he's causing problems in Shinjuku. And this is you heard. So this is like people copying Johnny Somali because they want to be famous.
Yeah.
And it's a big problem because especially people think that Asia, specifically Korea, Japan, and some other countries, are weak because they are polite, right? And
politeness is not a sign of weakness, because you've noticed Korea is polite, but when you do something like this, they show that they are not weak at all.
Respectful. Yeah. But I think they don't know those cultures very well, and they don't understand there's like a line, and then when you cross the line, you get severely punished. Okay, so tell me about you hunting Johnny Somali. So I heard that your car is famous around Jamshil because your white car is in many videos going around looking for Johnny Somali. Is that right?
Yes. First time I met them. 그러니까 at the time Somali is streaming. 근데 그때 이제 소말리가 계속 자기가 이제 도발을 하고 한국 뭐 너네는 별거 아니다 막 이런 얘기를 해서 제일 먼저 제가 이제 그걸 듣고 저녁 11시경에 집에서 있다가 보다가 이제 바로 차 시동을 걸고 쫓아왔던 거죠. 첫 번째로 first time.
Were you the first person to find him? First one. First one. Okay. So you found him. How did you find? You were the person to find Johnny Somali, the first person, right? So how did you find him?
Yeah. At the time, my first time in video live streaming. 그때가 이제 제가 처음으로 라이브를 킨 거예요.
It's very lucky.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Just angry.
Yeah.
Just angry.
And you found we call him the Golden Goblin. You know that name?
I didn't know.
You didn't.
He is the Golden Goblin of YouTube, that's for sure.
I just angry and violence.
You were angry.
bomb. angry. 그러니까 폭발해서.
운이 엄청 좋으시다고 말하는데.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, okay, so he was angry, he just was mad, he wanted to go get him. When you confronted him, was this the time he was with Hank?
Yes.
And did Hank have his baton, his weapon?
Okay.
He had it?
Yeah. No. Just 이거. 위협만 한 거.
To threaten him with it.
Yeah. 그때 어떻게 만났냐면 그거를 이제 내가 화나가지고 쫓아왔는데 first streaming. 그래서 저는 잘 몰랐어요 그거를. 그러니까 이제 하는데 여기 시청자분들이 어디 있다 막 얘기를 해주는데 제가 기능은 몰라서 어디 있는지 몰랐어. Where they
어떤 기능을 몰랐다고요?
그러니까 그 채팅 기능에 시청자분들이 걔네 거기 있어라고 얘기를 하는 걸 못 봤어. 못 보고 just I found 이제 걔네 찾으려고 계속 돌아다녔어요. 막 어딨지 이렇게 계속 한 2바퀴 돌았는데 갑자기 저기 있네. 이렇게
He ran into him on the street. You know, I have a funny story. A long time ago, I saw Johnny streaming. This is before he went to Japan. I saw him, and before Korea, I saw him in Thailand when I was in Thailand, and he was across the street, and I say because I was on a date, so I was with a girl. I did not want to go interact with him, but even then I was ready to like beat him up because he had already said bad things about many countries, right? And he really said disrespectful things about a lot of countries in Asia. So it's very interesting when you find him because you see how annoying he is.
So it already started even before Japan.
So with after you found him and you got out of your car, what happened?
제가 그냥 딱 보고 소말리네 하고 내렸어요. 내려서 이제 차에서 내리고 난 다음에 딱 내렸더니 이제 first Hank and Somali and Gino,
all three.
Okay.
3 verse 1.
Yeah, 3. Yeah. 3 with me.
Yeah.
I approach him. 그랬더니 이제 딱 왔더니 얘네 셋이 이미 막 긴장을 하고 쳐다보더라고요. 행크랑 소말리랑 진우가 했더니 행크가 갑자기 3단봉을 꺼내는 거예요. 갑자기 바로 꺼내더니 갑자기 쫙 하더니 막 이렇게 때릴 것처럼 뭐 마더퍼커 막 이러면서 막 욕을 하는 거예요. 그래갖고 내가 너 지금 뭐 하는 거야? 그랬더니 너가 나한테 그러고 너 가까이 오면 때릴 거야 막 이런 액션을 하는 거예요. 그런 와중에 대치를 하고 있고 저는 너는 뭐 하는 놈들인데 그러고 네가 한국인인데 왜 여기서 얘네 편을 들고 있고 그 무기는 왜 들고 있냐 이러면서 계속 서로 대치를 하고 있는 상태에서 이제 경찰이 온 거예요. 한 5분 만에. 이렇게 욕을 주고받다가 이제 경찰이 온
Police came?
Yeah,
and then what happened?
5 minutes.
And what did the police do?
그거를 이제 행크네, 소말리 얘네가 신고를 한 거였어요. 이미.
Who called the police? Hank, right?
Yeah, Hank or Somali.
They called the police.
Yeah.
So, okay, Hank and Johnny, well, no, Johnny always says, I don't call the police.
Yeah.
But I think Hank, in all the videos, you watch him, Hank is quick to call the police, right?
Yeah.
Like, because Hank is scared, right?
Scared man.
Yeah.
Scared man.
Yeah, he's a scared guy. Because I want to make clear, you offered to fight Hank in the ring, in the boxing.
Always.
But you are how old?
I was born in 1980.
1980, so 45.
Yes.
44, 45. 45 Korean, right?
Yeah.
45. So you are like 12 or 13 years older than Hank.
Yes. 13.
Also, you can't see it here because the angle is weird, but he's shorter than Hank, right?
Yes.
And lighter than Hank.
Yeah.
Hank is kind of fat, honestly.
30 kilogram.
Yeah.
More than me, Hank.
30 kilogram.
30 kilogram
yes.
bigger.
So he would be like a different weight class. In boxing, we have weight class.
Like
So
different weight class.
yeah, he'd be a bigger weight class.
Yeah, super heavy.
Yeah. Super heavy. Sumo.
Super heavy.
Sumo, yeah.
Just welter.
Welterweight.
Yeah.
So
He's escape. Always escape.
Oh man.
Hank, come
so
on.
Hank, the challenge is still open, right? Challenge is still open. Yeah. So Hank.
Hank. You want to do the challenge, Hank?
Come on, bro. Fight him in the gym. You say you're such a tough guy.
Fight.
Come on, bro. All right.
All bark, no bite, as usual.
So, anyways, you offered to do that. He wouldn't do it. And Hank called the police. And when the police got there, did they separate everybody?
Yes.
And then did anybody get arrested or?
체포당한 사람이 있었을까요?
아 그때 그래서 경찰관이 와서 물었어요. 이렇게 해서 무슨 일이냐고. 그래서 나 가만히 있는데 얘가 나한테 욕하고 삼단봉으로 때리려고 그랬다. 그래서 경찰이 그러면 이거를 어떻게 하면 좋겠냐고 그래서 됐고 나는 이거 사건을 만들 거다. I want to make issue. I tell police. 그러니까 사건을 만들 거니까 지금 나랑 얘랑 해서 현장범으로 현행범으로 경찰서 가서 다 조사하고 나는 이거 정식으로 고소할 거니까 그런지 알고 빨리 가서 조서를 써줘라라고 제가 강력하게 요청을 한 거죠 경찰한테.
He wanted to file a report. And let me be clear, because I've explained to my audience, there's a difference between gobal and gosol. So you can file gosol, right, for threatening, right?
Yeah.
Did you file?
그렇죠. 그걸로 해서 violence, I make and written.
Against Hank or Somali?
At the time is Hank.
Hank. Okay. Okay.
I made it. 그래서 경찰서 가서 이제 제가 진술하고 행크는 미안하다고.
I doubt he was actually sorry. He was just probably doing that to get away.
자기는 he says sorry. 그러니까 착각을 했대. 내가 다른 사람인 줄 알고 때리려고 그러고 착각을 했지만.
He mistook him for someone else, eh?
나는 이미 위협을 받고 이랬기 때문에 너네는 한국에서 해가 되니까 나는 무조건 이거 고소 고발 통해서 너네한테 벌을 줄 거야 해서 경찰한테도 강력히 어필을 하고 경찰서에 가서 진정서를 다 쓰고 왔죠. 저도 쓰고 행크도 쓰고 행크가 또 저한테 미안하다 그랬지만 웃기지 말라 그러고 이제 같이 써서 범죄 사실이 되니까 이건 재판을 해달라라고 하고 이거를 이제 진정서를 넣고 왔죠.
So is the case gone or is it still existing?
진행 중.
Still ongoing against Hank.
Yeah.
So that's a new information because I didn't know that people don't know what charges Hank has if he has any charges. So he has at least one from him.
Yeah.
Goso.
Yeah. First time.
Goso,
First
yes,
time.
right? Not Gobal.
Goso.
Goso. Because you have filed many Gobal, right?
Yes.
Third party report because there's a difference, right?
Yeah, difference.
Difference in that. You filed many Gobal against Somali as well.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Many Gobal.
Yeah. I'm finding now every day.
아직도 찾고 계신.
More Gobal.
Continue. Yeah,
Do you think, okay, so I talked to another Korean, and, we talk about Gobal, and I think if it's one third-party report, it doesn't matter so much.
Yeah.
But do you think the police will start to take it seriously if you file many?
Yes.
You think so? Yes. Do you think that the police are seriously investigating some of the Gobal?
Yes.
Why?
I went to police office about 7 places. 동대문, 종로,
잠실,
중랑, 잠실, yeah, everywhere. 왜냐면은 원래는 재판이 12월 20일, September 20. 근데 그게 딜레이 된 게 이제 여러 가지 사건이 모이면서.
So the cases were combined into all the cases that were piled up at that point were combined into one, so that's probably why they also delayed it.
이제 검찰에서도 이거는 그냥 재판을 할 게 아니라 모아서 해야 된다고, 병합된다고. 그래서 이제 3월로 연기된 걸로 알고 있거든요.
Which oddly enough is the same time Assassin's Creed comes out.
Why do you believe that?
I heard.
From who?
이제 공신력 있는 쪽으로. 그러니까 그래도 신뢰성 있는 쪽으로. 구독자 뭐 이런 사람 통해서.
Credible source. Okay, so he has sources that are telling him that's why they're going to combine the cases.
Combine.
I mean, I believe that would be the case.
Because typically once they move the case for trial, they do not combine it. So this will be a very rare case if they at this time combine the cases.
I mean, the entire thing is extremely rare. Our case has never gone this fast through law in Korea. So this entire case in itself is an anomaly and rare.
너무 많아서 so many.
Okay. I hope this is the truth too. I speak to many different people who taught me about Korean law and how it typically works. And typically they say, okay, the case in Hongdae will be answered in the Western case, right? The Western courthouse. But Jamshil is the East courthouse, right? So they would say the case would be different.
그래서 제가 이제 경찰서를 그러니까 소말리가 영업방해와 뭐 희롱에 관련한 거를 버스 회사에 있는 버스 721, 뭐 270, 1004번에 있는 일어난 장소에 관한 경찰서를 간 거거든요. 그러니까 범죄가 일어난 장소의 경찰서를 가기 위해서 제가 그 경찰서들을 7군데를 다닌 그런 거죠.
That's crazy. That's good, no? But it's great that you're going to all the police stations to figure it out. So do you know? I have sources that are Korean that say you know a lot about Korean law. Is that true? You understand the law well?
예.
한국 법에 대해서 많이
엄청 공부했어요.
You've studied a lot of the law. Just now or before? Now. You become like an unofficial Korean lawyer.
Thank you for Somali. 그리고 저거 국가보안법. It's difficult.
But the Korean legal system is often very let me say this. The Korean legal system often gives very light punishments compared to the U.S. Do you believe that in this case that Johnny may get more severe punishment than normal?
I agree. I convince.
Why?
I would also agree because it's an American doing it instead of just a normal citizen.
왜냐면 상황이 너무 안 좋고 일단은 first just
Oh, the 7th incident, yeah, that's bad. The comfort woman statue, everything else.
the 7-Eleven. 그러니까 그냥 7-Eleven 사건만으로
홍대에서.
Yes, in 홍대. 7-Eleven 사건만으로 재판을 가는 경우가 사실 한국의 경우는 많지는 않아요. 그러니까 저스트 영업방해 하나로 재판까지 가는 경우는 그거 자체가 드물어.
Even to go to trial.
Go to trial is
So so because we have a trial that shows they're taking it seriously.
저스트 딱 하나로 재판까지 갔는데 그것도 드문 케이스인데 얘가 잘못 걸리고 나빴기 때문에 그렇게 갔는데 그걸 베이스로 해서 수많은 건들이 지금 막 올라오고 있는 그런 시스템인 상태예요.
That's good. He doesn't need to be punished hard for his crime. What would you say, and you can say to the camera when you say it, what would you say to other people like Johnny Somali if they're thinking of coming to Korea? What would you say to them?
Don't do that. You'll be die. Never do.
I think everybody understands that one.
Also, it's just a stupid idea. Also, you could either damage it in some capacity or your reputation or something. Just don't do it. It's not worth it.
With how do you feel about Hank? Let me say one more time. When I was talking to J Company and also Dalgun and many other Koreans, they feel like Hank is worse than Johnny in a way. Do you feel the same way?
To be honestly, 걔는 좀 모자란 애 같아요.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I understand. How about I guess with his trial? How long would you expect if you had to give a guess? what do you think his punishment would be once all of the charges come together? What do you think his punishment's going to be if you had to guess?
maybe 이거는 솔직히 우리의 손에 달렸는데 our hand. 그러니까 저는 지금 최선의 노력을 다하고 있거든요. I'll do the best. Go to
do the best you can to get him punishment.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna do the same thing. Trust me, no matter what, I'm gonna do the best to punish the guy. But I just want to make sure that people have a realistic estimate because many people say, oh, he could be in jail for 30 years or 27. I don't think it will be 27, but even if he's in jail for 1 year, to me, that's a big victory because he's getting a serious jail sentence and he actually has to go to real jail. And I think maybe because he's very small and scared, he will be frightened.
그러니까 최대로 만약에 정말 열심히 만들고 국가보안법, 영업방해, all over, 영업방해 뭐 이런 걸 다 모합해서 진짜 검찰에서도
10 years is a long time to be in jail.
이거는 죄를 인정을 하고 수긍을 해주면 10년.
That would be great. I think that's real. I think that's a realistic estimate. If he gets charged with more crimes, right, and if all the documents are good, they do not accept his apology. I think 10 years could happen. Like that's an optimistic.
But is it likely to happen is the question.
But I think that could happen. And even, like I said, even if he got 5, I would be happy, but I would push for 10 or more, as much as we could because
15 maybe?
It will stop other people from streaming. One thing I want to talk about, and this maybe we'll close on the main segment, the deepfakes. Were you included in the deepfakes?
근데 그거는 이제 예를 들어서 딥페이크 종류가 지금 kind of two. One is Yongman.
One
is
Bongbong.
Yeah. Bongbong.
There's three. Bongbong, Yongman, and you.
Yeah, it's me.
And so, did you file a goso for the deepfake?
Yes, I sue.
So you have goso against Hank for the threatening.
Yes.
And goso against Johnny for deepfake.
Yeah, deepfake about 출처가 누군지를 몰라. 내 거.
He doesn't know like.
But it doesn't matter under the law. From what I understand about deepfake, you can answer me. But the issue is when it's broadcast or distributed, that's the crime.
그렇지. 그게 근데 용만이 거는 100% 소말리가 전송을 했는데 제 거는 소말리가 한 게 아니 소말리가 했다라는 증거는 안 나왔고 일단 인터넷에 떠돌고 있다.
Yeah, if
I mean, from what I understand, I don't think it matters who distributed it. The fact that it's even out there, and
if he was the one that distributed it, or if he was the one that broadcast it, like for example, with Bongbong, he showed that one on stream.
Yes.
He broadcast it. We have proof. We have the video that shows him doing it. So he doesn't have an argument for that one at all because he showed it on the internet, and that's enough to convict him. From what I understand, I'm not a Korean lawyer, but from what I understand of Korean law, if you show it on YouTube, right, you can be in big trouble for that. So I think because apparently Korea has a big problem with deepfakes, because many like teachers will have their students making deepfakes of them, and stuff like that. It causes a big problem in Korea. Right?
Big crime.
It's a big crime, yeah. Do you have anything you would like to say about, say to YouTube audience or say to people watching the Johnny Somali story?
I promise, go to jail.
That's it. He promises he's gonna go to jail. That's a good promise right there.
Promise.
It's a good promise. Well, thank you, Bang TV.
Alright, unfortunately I didn't get time for the Assassin's Creed, but I'll maybe make a video about that, but, I'm gonna link you to this channel if you want to watch, and until next time, I will see you later.
Welcome to the Blizzard Arena.
And a quest for a champion begins today.
The anticipation has been building, and it is finally time. We are live.
That is a really.
Can you get over the roof there? Oh my!
Oh
my! What a play! What a grab!
Another jump here on the high ground. Super goes forward, but gets stuck up. The EMP comes in, and ding! He rains down hell from above.
Here come Pine. Gets one, gets two. Looking for a bit more, gets another one.
Tuno's down again. That heralds disaster generally with a fusion, and Carpe wasn't far behind. Prophet! He's killed 4 players now on his own.
From Vancouver, locks him in the sound barrier. Sound is huge. The bomb coming in from John. Oh my God! He does it again.
Flutter now moving onto the Widowmaker, taking the clutch into his own hands. The headshot after headshot after headshot.
Okay, I like this for the Gladiators. We're going to try and circle around. I'm going to call this the merry-go-round because it makes me laugh. Makes me happy, and short ball switches to the Widowmaker at just the right time.
Oh, the Gravy!
I'm the best person in the world.
Oh my word!
I mean, you could have told me that you spoke English, honestly.
The fans never thought they'd see this day. It took 43 matches. Feels like a really emotional moment here.
See ya. See you later. Bye. Bye.